Introducing a whole new way to save from Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet with unlimited data, Wi-Fi equipment, and a free streaming box included with a 2-year rate guarantee and no contract. All for just $30 per month when you add an Xfinity mobile plan. Switch today.
Dion Closo with Preps KC as we start the Midland Empire Conference virtual media days. We start alphabetically, of course, with Cameron and new coach Wes Bell. And Coach, welcome to the area, and it's exciting to be a part of the Midland Empire Conference. A great conference, a lot of really good teams there. What excited you about this job?
First and foremost, I've got a familiarity with the MEC, just being from spent about a decade at Missouri Western, so knew the area. Spent a long time up here. I was very, very blessed early in my career to have, I think we had 4 or 5 kids from Cameron, helped us win a lot of football games at Missouri Western. So love the region, love the area, love the league, great coaches. And I'm not going to lie, on a personal note, it's my oldest son is going to be a freshman this fall playing football up at Northwest.
Awesome.
So an opportunity to get closer to him, just for my wife's sake, for my sake, for my youngest boy's sake, just to be close and be able to watch. So kind of stars aligned, perfect fit.
What has this offseason been like for you? I know that first year transition could be trying to get a lot done in a short amount of time.
It's been, how do I say, it's been fun and it's been hectic. I didn't get as early a jump as I wanted. I think this thing kind of got finalized late. Had about a week and a half to kind of meet the existing staff members, try to teach them what we were going to do, both sides of the ball real fast. Had some friends of mine come up and help me kind of install what we want to do offensively. My former offensive coordinator come up and help. My oldest son came and helped with the install, both O and D, because he played obviously for me for 3 years. So got that done in a whirlwind, went up to Northwest for a team camp. Mm-hmm. Just kind of winging it and having a good time. The kids did well. They've adapted well. Biggest thing is, it's Jeff kind of started something. Coach Wallace started something, kind of got it rolling a little bit and got it going in a direction. And we're kind of building upon that, kind of reestablish our foundation, what we're going to do here, kind of our new, a little different mentality. Just kind of hammering that home all summer. But kids have responded well. They've been open. Just like any first year, we've had some highs and some lows this summer, but super excited.
Well, I know they were kind of young last year, coming off the 7-4 in 2019, but they kind of held their own where they could. Do you have like what you have back coming into this year?
We are, again, I don't know what they were last year. You watch video when you interview and you kind of see kids. We've got 5 seniors and that's it. We are a relatively young program. We're going to have predominantly juniors, and it's a tremendously big and talented sophomore class. Oh, wow. There's probably 4 or 5 of those kids that did play last year, quality minutes on Friday nights as freshmen, and we've got a pretty talented freshman class. So we're a young program. We're going to play. Obviously, we've got those 5 seniors. We're going to lean heavily on 2 or 3 of those kids, but we're going to lean a ton on our juniors and sophomores. We're going to probably sneak in 2 or 3 freshmen, try to get them some experience. So we'll be young, but there's benefits to being young. So,
wow, that kind of lines up usually with a team that's a lot better at the end of the year than it is at the beginning sometimes.
You get those.
That's
young
always
kids,
the goal.
Those young kids, sometimes they're just foolish enough to not know any better, but they go out and give it heck. So we'll see. I'm excited. They're like I said, the kids have worked hard this summer. They've kind of bought into the new direction, what we're doing. And there'll be lumps, I've talked with Ed. I mean, there's going to be lumps, but I think we'll be okay.
Well, your schedule, the MEC is just such a good conference. Pius has been to back-to-back state championship games, and Maryville's always in the hunt, and St. Joe Lafayette and is always pretty solid. And then some teams like Benton and Chillicothe have been building the last few years. So is that kind of, is it easy when you have a schedule that's tough to? You're not looking ahead. You're not looking down the road. You just know, hey, we got to take care of Friday night.
Yeah, and that's what I've been preaching to our kids is and it's cliche, and coaches always say stuff. We're going to. I've been telling our kids also, Friday is just another opportunity for us to practice and get reps. Yeah, there's going to be people in the stands. Yeah, there's going to be light. We'll probably have on a different outfit than we do our practice stuff. But this first year, especially, Friday nights are an extension of the week. We're not going to do a whole lot different. We're going to go out and run our plays. We're going to try like heck to coach our tails off, put our kids in the right situation. So, there's bonuses when you're in a tough league. Our kids know that. There's not a cupcake in the league. I'd say probably Cameron's kind of been the cupcake the last couple of years. So kids know that. I've been preaching all summer that if you want something, you got to take it. So we'll see.
Well, it should be a fun and exciting season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC as we move through our virtual media days here in the Midland Empire Conference. We bring in Chillicothe coach Chad Smith, and coach second year there at Chillicothe. And I've talked to some other coaches, and they're talking about how you guys were good and young last year, and they're expecting big things out of you guys this year. How excited are you about the 2022 season?
Very excited. We had an excellent off season, through the end of the school, from Christmas to the end of the school year. And the kids really worked hard and bought in over the summer weights program and working out. And we're as probably big and as fast as we've been since I've been here. I was the assistant coach for, 6 years before under Coach Willard. And but yeah, the guys have been working really hard, and they're all excited about getting going here on August 8th.
Well, your league, you got a good non-con, but your league is really taking some steps forward. You got even some teams like a St. Joe Benton. I talked with Coach Keaton. He's fifth year there, which is going to take a while to kind of they're getting better. Cameron's gotten better the last few years. I mean, there's no weeks off on your schedule, is there?
No, there's not. And even though some of those teams may show that their records aren't great, doesn't mean that they're not good football teams, because we kind of beat up on each other. So you may have a team that, may not have the greatest record, but you still have to prepare to beat a good football team every week. And so that's some challenges that everybody in the conference faces. So,
well, as you've gone through your summer, what's been the highlight or like a group or that has really just taken big step forward? Maybe a group that you didn't think could take even a bigger step forward and they did, or just somebody or a group of players that's really done well for you.
We've always, last year we had a very, very good group of skill guys. We have 4 or 5 guys in our backfield that are over 200 pounds that they run the ball well. And our offensive line last year really didn't start doing really well till about week 6 or 7. And they started getting pretty good towards the end of the year. And that group has really taken some huge steps over the off season to, a lot of them were really young. We started a freshman and 2 sophomores on the O-line last year. Yeah. And so those guys have all grown and gotten bigger and faster, stronger. And just like learning how to play how we play. You talked about kind of old school football. We play that same pretty much old offense that you watched back then. And I got to learn it because I used to work for Dave Fairchild over Hamilton before I came here. So we ran the same thing. And so those are things that we've trying to do, and just the way we're physical and getting off the football and pad level and kind of doing that old school type blocking that we do. They're way ahead of where they were last year.
Well, we're here in Dead Week as we're recording this, and you go on August 8th. What do you kind of focus on? It's not like it was, 20, 30 years ago where you'd come in 2-a-days and you'd see kids, for the first time all summer, maybe off of 1 week of camp. What do you focus on those 3 weeks really as you get ready for August 26th?
Basics, fundamentals, conditioning. You basically just want to make sure that you got all your verbiage down, and that you're running the ball and doing your plays like you're supposed to, and looking sharp, cleaning things up, taking care of the football, those types of things. And on defense, you're just really working on fundamentals on, how you do a form test, because you really can't do much the first 3 days anyway, because it's just basically, walk through stuff, conditioning, because you can't have pads on yet because they have all the acclimation periods. So that's a lot of time just to like really get your formation set up and how you want to do your defense. And then obviously you got to do a lot of conditioning that first week just to make sure everybody's ready to go,
Well, and it's been kind of a funny summer. It's either 100 degrees or it's like 75 degrees. So it's been one of those summers where the weather has been all over the place, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's been crazy. It's either so hot you can't hardly do anything, or I got a text message from my AD just yesterday he's really good with weather, and he sent me everything's supposed to be in the 80s all week. And,
I know.
I was like, yes, don't have to worry about that, So, but yeah, that's the big thing though, is just like getting fundamentals, getting everything straightened out before you can really start getting physical and doing all stuff. Like you can start, you can't really start hitting anything till next week. So just trying to get all that lined up.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC as we move through our virtual media days. We're in the Midland Empire Conference. We talk with Maryville coach Matt Webb, and Coach, another good season last year, but I know how it is in Maryville. If you're not playing Thanksgiving weekend or the weekend after, sometimes it feels like maybe it wasn't a good season for you guys. But what do you like about this year's team that you're bringing back, and how excited are you for the season?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I it's again, at this time in the summer, we're a week out of practices starting. It's like, we don't talk about last year very much. And, we finished 7-5 and won our district and, advanced to the quarterfinal round and lost to a really good Richmond team. It's like you said, those games that we lost up here, you think of a 1-point loss to a really good St. Pius team. Again, you think of a tough game, a tough loss again to a Blair Oaks team is a traditionally dominant force out of Central Missouri, and then a really good hard-fought football game against Harrisonville. And when you think of those losses, you think about how close you were to that, and to being, a 2-3 loss team. And so I think there's a lot of positives that we built on last year. Number one is our youth that'll play dividends going into this year. We only had 8 seniors last year, and this year we only have 8 seniors. And a lot of guys have gotten some really quality playing time on varsity minutes and Friday nights that I've noticed through our camps and through our summer preparation that has really paid dividends. I think we're very far ahead, as far as installation and retention and plays and just kind of our team camaraderie compared to what we've been in years past. And so I'm really excited about this season. The first thing you look at is our schedule. Our schedule is again, we have a hard time finding games up here and being able to match up with, quality opponents and really feel like we push ourselves. And what we've done is, we open up at Blair Oaks. We're playing that game at UCM. And then we have Harrisonville. We'll be able to play that game at home. And then our other non-conference game is Lutheran North. We were, dropped by Lincoln College Prep, so we need to find another game there in the middle of season, week 7. And certainly, I don't think people are looking to go schedule Lutheran North just on willing, for funds and giggles type thing. But we're able to play that game in a neutral site in Macon. So that's always good on a Friday night trip to not have to go all the way to St. Louis. So those 3 non-conference are really good out of conference opponents. And then you look at, our conference where St. Pius has won the conference 2 years in a row. Chillicothe returns about everybody off a really quality team last year. So I hate to say this, but where Maryville sits right now, and we're very much the underdog in a lot of ways that it's exciting, and you challenge our team, and through the summer to go into those things as an underdog is a lot of fun.
Is there any group or position group or side of the ball that's really taken some big step forward for you this summer?
Yeah, I think so. We with the way our summer we kind of ran it, we do a lot of camps. I think it's good to go out and play quality people. And again, you look at a buzzsaw of a camp schedule we've had, and when Maryville goes into like a team camp in Northwest Missouri State here in Maryville, that's such a quality opponents. We're playing the likes of Lee Summits and Rock Bridges and some really Lebanons and some really large schools that traditionally we won't see on our schedule. And through that, we went to team camp out here at Northwest, and then we went up to South Dakota State and went to Brookings and played some really, again, larger schools out of Minneapolis and the northern region. And and I think through that, I think one of the positions that we've really improved, and it's because of, scrimmaging and going against team camps against some really big schools, good quality is our up front, our line of scrimmage. We really need to develop there. And I think there's no secret in years that we've had state championship runs, been really successful. We're really good on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, offensive, defensive line. So that they need to keep developing. I feel really good about our skill positions. We've got some good returners there. Again, guys that got quality minutes. Our quarterback is going to be Derek Quinlan, who'll be a junior, who, obviously I think a lot of people in the state know his father, Joe Quinlan, who's the strength coach out of Northwest Missouri State. Derek's a really good dual sport guy for us here in Maryville. He's a really good basketball player and adds a dimension in the backfield as far as athleticism that he's doing some really good things this summer. So I'm excited to see where that develops. And then overall, like I said, our offensive defensive line are something that I think we really need to keep improving on.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Thanks, Dion. I always appreciate what you do. I'm always welcome to help share what's going on up here in Maryville.
This is Dion Clisso from the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet, now with up to 5 to 10 times faster upload speeds. And joining us now in our virtual media room for the Midland Empire Conference is Coach Anthony Hayes, the new coach in Savannah. And Coach, congratulations, and glad to have you up here in the area. And when you were looking around, what excited you about this Savannah job?
Well, on a football perspective, I think it's a growing community with a strong youth program. They had great numbers, for several years in a row, where they have a lot of kids out for a Class 3 school. I think we're almost pushing 90 kids out for football, which is awesome. That's about what they had the last year too. And so I think there's a lot of potential football. And then on a family side of things, my wife's from St. Joseph. We have a lot of family on her side that lives up here, grandparents that live up here. And so family and football kind of merged together and made this a great move. My wife got the assistant principal job at Savannah. She's an educator too, and she's been in the classroom for the past 14 years. So she got a promotion. We got to move back closer to family. I got to keep coaching football at a school that I think is on the rise. And so it all kind of, I think the good Lord worked it all out for good here where we're back up in Northwest Missouri.
Well, the conference you're joining has been a good conference for a long time and a lot of good schools. It had taken a little bit of a dip the last few years, but just talking with some of the other guys, they're like, Coach Bell at Cameron, you're coming up to Savannah. They're like, everybody's getting better, and it's going to be it's getting back to where it was a few years ago, where it's a bloodbath week in, week out. Yeah. Tell me, what do you like about what you've seen out of your team this summer?
Well, it's exciting, to be. This is my fourth head coaching job. I was at King City, Parkview, Branson, now at Savannah. And, the first year is always exciting. You're trying to learn names. That's the big thing. I got nine coaches and 90 players, and plus I'm meeting faculty and community members and booster clubs. So that part's overwhelming. But on a football side of things, the kids were and have been hungry. They've been excited to lift weights and go to 7-on-7. And we had a great team camp at Southwest Baptist, and then obviously had a dead week and came back last week for everything. So it's been a good summer. It's been an exciting summer, and I feel a sense of comfort after being here for a couple of months now, of knowing the kids and my staff, and so I think we laid a really solid foundation the past couple of months in June and July.
Well, I know you put in a new offense and defense, but you return your starting quarterback. How has that helped the transition, having some guys who were some senior guys or some veteran guys at play that were able to kind of take on those roles for you?
Yeah, we have a really good mix of some veteran players like Ethan Dudek. He's our starting quarterback. He started past 2.5 years at quarterback. Both our running backs that took most of the reps last year. Kate Chappelle, Alex Hopper are back. Truman Bodenhausen's back. He was an all-conference defensive back, wide receiver last year. So we're kind of reloading up front. I do have a couple old linemen back. Sajan Wilson, Javen Seibert. So there is about a 50-50 mix, which is nice. You got some young, hungry kids coming up, but then you still have a good core that know what it's like on a Friday night.
What's the community been like? I for people who don't know about Savannah, I mean, in terms of football, that is as crazy a football town as there is.
Yeah, they're all in on football here. Like it's fun, to be the head football coach in a town that loves football. Last Saturday we had, and I just heard about it. I had not been a part of it obviously yet, but the Saturday where we have our big scrimmage to end the week of the first official week, they call Savage Day here. And it is an event. I mean, starts in the morning with our scrimmage, and then there's a youth camp afterwards, and then we had a dinner, a barbecue. We had an auction to fundraise for the team. We had a band come in. We had a concert. I mean, it was just when you pulled into town, there were signs on the side of 71 saying "Welcome to Savage Day," and it was just one of those deals where you're like, man, this town really supports the school, the football program. And I haven't had my first Friday night home game here, but I've heard that there's tailgating and the stands are packed, and even outside the gate there's trucks pulled up to the fence, and so I'm excited to be in a town where football is important.
Well, Coach, should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for all your coverage. I love high school football. So I love that I could follow all over Northwest Missouri here. So I appreciate that from your end.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC as we move through the Midland Empire Conference with our virtual media day. We're joined by St. Joe Benton coach Kevin Keaton. And Coach, you guys have been getting a little bit better each year. And this is you've been there now a while. You've got the full kids that have gone through your system, and I know you like
a little bit better each year.
a little bit better each year. I know you like how these kids are working hard.
I do.
What excites you about this year?
Well, we've had so many kids, and I've said this for a year. We've had so many kids that have taken a lot of snaps before they were ready. And I was saying this to an assistant coach sometime this week. We've been in camp all July. We might have a situation where there's nobody that we're putting out there on a Friday night that doesn't need to be there yet.
Yeah.
I think finally we've got a roster, offensive and defensively, once we get them all in the right spots, where it's junior, senior heavy, and we're not throwing out 2, 3, or 4 kids that we're saying, because now we're talking about kids like, hey, we like this kid and he's going to be able to actually play GV for a year, as opposed to for several years, we like this kid, bam, we're going to throw him out now.
Yeah. What have you seen out of your kids this summer that's got you excited?
Well, we early June, we took them camping for a week. And that was eye-opening for us. That was an ability for them to truly know us and for us to really dig into them. And when we left, I felt good. And I've done stuff like that before in the past, where when I left, you knew that they weren't ready for us yet. We left this particular camp and said, okay, maybe if the stars align, we get a great summer. These kids want to win. They really do. So I like where we're at right now.
As you've worked on this program in the last few years, just kind of getting, I remember when we first started talking, just the expectations and just getting those kids. And then the fact that they, when you get them, they really want to work hard for you. They want to do those things. When you head into this year, where are you seeing that turn on the football field? Like what side of the ball, what group is really
Sure.
not just learning how to be a part of a program, but now it's like, we've got that out of the way. Let's go learn and play some football.
Defensively, those kids have taken a bunch of snaps, and all of our adjustments are better, faster, quicker this summer. They have done them before. Kids are kids everywhere, everywhere. Our kids needed a lot of snaps to get to this point, and we needed to go through whatever we did for the last several years to get to this point and this season. So I really like I hate to even say this. I feel like we're like mid-season right now with how we're communicating, how we're talking, how we're adjusting, how we're seeing the game in front of us. We rolled with a week ago, a much improved Ray South team, and with a center team that, in my opinion, it's all going to go through center.
Yeah.
Class 3 this year. It's all going through 87th and Holmes this year. And anybody can say what they want to say. They are so talented. Brian is such a good coach. He'll have them primed and ready. We held our own with them, and our kids left that. Now it's a camp. It's not a game, but our kids left and they were saying, we could beat these guys. That's exactly how I wanted them to feel.
Yeah.
Now, do I know that we could or we couldn't? I don't know, because that tailback is so good. That quarterback is so good. Their line is good, but we felt good, and I felt good after that. So
when you get into the first practice, we're shooting this now as we're winding down summer on August 8th. What kind of things do you kind of work on when you shift gears and you get into those? And now we're counting down to games. We're counting down to scrimmage. Counting down to a jamboree, counting down to a game.
So we play week 2 and 3, both of our jamboree opponents.
Yeah.
It's different. We will play a Class 5 St. Joe Central, which we are excited about. We're going to
an improving St. Joe Central.
Very good. Yes.
Very good.
there's some matchup issues, and we've already identified where there's going to be. And so for a couple weeks, it's two things. We have to really polish where we're at, and we have to get ready for a cat and mouse game in week 2 and 3, and really solidify what do we want to do during the jamboree, and then what do we want to do when there's an actual scoreboard. So,
well, I think it's going to be an exciting year. I think that football in general in St. Joe's, the boats are being risen. I think there's a lot of good football players.
I really do. Those kids deserve that.
Yeah, and
this is the first year that St. Joe will have middle school football.
Oh, but
and it cannot come soon enough.
And you'll see that pay off here in 3 or 4 years too.
I hope.
No doubt. Well, Coach, have a great rest of the summer. Looking forward to chatting with you again. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time.
Thank you.
Deion Clisso from Preps KC here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet. With speeds faster than a gig, you can power a house full of connected devices all at once. And joining us now here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity, is Scott Finley, the new coach at St. Joe Lafayette. And Coach, you've been at Ork, you're at Carrollton, you've been around, and now you're going to a really good program in St. Joe Lafayette that's had a few coaches the last few years. Kind of been a little unstable in that position, but it's a good football program, that part of town really loves their football. How excited are you to be there?
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. And the guys are great. And, we learn something new from our guys every day. They keep you on your heels, and we're a very young group this year. We've got a lot of very talented players, but very inexperienced. And so every day it's just fun watching these guys start to figure out what they're capable of.
Well, tell me this. One thing that the Lafayette's always been known for is athletes. I mean, a guy
Mhm.
like Diego Bernard who came through here, two-sport athlete, and you guys always were able to put good quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, things like that. A lot of speed. Does it look a little like that, even though it's young this year?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll be starting a sophomore at one of our wide receiver spots, and he just came out and took the job. And that's what I always tell those guys. I'm like, the job is yours, just take it. So yes, lots of athletes, lots of speed. Linemen, got some good sized linemen too, and guys that are starting to figure. I mean, I've got a 14-year-old who's 6'7". I mean, it's like,
Oh, geez.
oh yeah, it's great. You love having 14-year-olds like that walk in early on, and he doesn't realize how strong he is. He's figuring it out a little bit every day, and so it's really been fun so far.
How'd the summer go?
Really well. Same deal. And we loaded up, a lot of people are going to where they take their 20 contact days mostly in July as opposed to June. And we did that for the most part. We did use some in June, but July we hit it pretty hard, and it was really, really good. And the weather actually was really nice to us this year. It wasn't bad. I mean, we had a lot of fun. You have your up days and your down days when you're young. And we showed that. We showed both sides sometimes.
Well, you guys were we might as well be on different continents. Though I'm here in Blue Springs, you're in St. Joe. I drove up to Gower the first day of practice, and it was like I had crossed over from a desert landscape down here, south of the river to everything up north. So you guys really, we had heat. You guys had rain.
Yeah, and that's really what it was too, and which is fun. I like it when it gets wet outside because I'm still kind of old school in that department. It's fun to go out there and play football in the mud, and so we took full advantage of that. And we throw the ball a lot too, but shoot, man, it's fun to get out there and just ground and pound a little bit in the mud.
Tell me, what's your defense look like this year?
We're going to be mostly a 4-2-5. Pretty big up front. We've got some size, and again, across the front, three of your four guys putting their hand in the mud. Three of them are first-time starters. Very talented guys, but kind of learning what their role is and how they work. And it's going to be, really, really challenging for them at times because we're asking them to do it on offense too. But our secondary is very experienced, very talented. Malik Reed's coming back, and he's been having a great summer. We got Drake Lawson playing at safety for us a lot, and he's been doing really well. So we're real excited about our defense.
Well, tell me this: your defense is going to be tested week 1 with the center coming to town.
Yeah, no kidding. Nothing like bringing some speed to town, right?
Yeah, exactly. When you look at a team like that, do you like that test right off the bat?
I love it. I think it's I've had years where you start with a game that's very favorable, and I've had years where you start with a game that's really tough. And I think it's a fair fight, and I like that. You come out and you're going to have to work hard, and you're pointing that out to the guys every single day, reminding them. I mean, all summer long, I'm like, guys, get on Twitter and look at what they're doing. This is what you're up against. It's not a secret; it's out there. So no, I'm very, very excited about seeing center again.
Well, when you look at your league, the league is always good. There's some years where there's a top. It can get a little top heavy, just cycling up. We seem to be cycling where the ones who are in the kind of middle to bottom are cycling up, and the top ones are staying good too. So it's really deep right now. New coaches, a lot of enthusiasm in a lot of places.
Oh man, and it is a tough league. I mean, yeah, there's not a game on there where you feel just automatically you feel good. You've got a job ahead of you, and I really enjoy that personally. I think that's great. I think it's good for the guys. Sometimes, if you have a game that's going to be a little simpler for you, your guys can play down. They're still kids, and so I like it when you got to bring your A game on every play.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Thanks a lot. Good talking to you.
Deon Clisso here with Preps KC in the Xfinity Studios, and we are thrilled to be joined by Anthony Simone Jr. from St. Pius X in our final virtual media day here in the Midland Empire Conference. And Coach, you couldn't ask for much more the first 2 years. You take a run to the Class 2 state championship. You get bumped up with the multiplier in the Class 3 state championship last year. Came up short both times. Last year against the St. Mary's team that was just outstanding, very good loaded team. First off, do you think that you'll be in 3 this year, or you just kind of see how it shakes out? Have you guys done the math and kind of got an idea where you'll be this year?
Yeah, we should be in 3.
Okay.
I think we're 1 point away from another class bump, but we should be in 3 based on enrollment. You never know how that all, but we're expecting to be in 3.
Well, you lose some good players off that team. There's no doubt, but you had a pretty good sophomore and junior class, and they're going to move up. What do you like about this group?
We did lose a lot last year. We had great class of seniors that had a ton of experience. They have played since they were sophomores. So we are going to be young this year. But these young guys are definitely varsity ready. They're pretty special guys. It's just going to be, getting that experience early in as many situations as we can put them in early. I think it's going to be one heck of a team. There's a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. We do have returning leaders. Tommy Wassinger is a 4-year starter. We do have a quarterback that was, he was behind Jack, but he can throw the ball, and Braden McPhee, and so we do have some guys that are returning that are definitely have experience with us. So we're excited about the year.
Well, the one thing that I think people don't understand is if you make consistent deep runs, that's an extra 4 or 5 games. That's an extra 4 or 5 weeks of practice for those younger kids that are running your scout team, or even just filling in some spots and getting that experience. Or if you're getting some big wins early in the season where you're able to put your 2s in, how much is that extra 9-10 games you played over the last 2 years help this group that's coming up?
It's huge. It's huge for multiple reasons. Like when you make those long runs, a lot of times, there's guys that go down and young guys that have to step up during those runs, and they get that playoff experience. And we had a lot of that last year. So that's huge. Then you compound it with the extra practices, and every coach loves that. So, when you're able to go 3, 4, 5 weeks longer in a season, it's definitely going to benefit you. And I feel like all of our young guys have benefited a lot over the last 2 years, getting all that extra practice.
Well, as you look at this season, you open with Pembroke Hill like you had the last few years. That's a team that returned some good players from last season, like a lot of offensive linemen, their quarterback. And then your other non-con games in there that are pretty good. You got, of course, St. James again, 2-time defending state champion. That's going to be a fun game. But your league as well is continuing to improve. Cameron has shown some signs. They've got a new coach at Savannah. St. Joe Benton has gotten a little bit better. Lafayette's got a new coach. Of course, Maryville's there. Chillicothe brings a lot back, and it's a team you may see down the line too. You guys are going to be tested week in, week out.
Yeah, it's not a light schedule by any means, and we're excited about it. We love the competition, and starting out with Pembroke, they've always got guys, and this year's no different. They do have a lot of returning linemen, and they lost the older Conley brother, but they got the 2 younger ones, and they're pretty exciting to watch. So that's going to be a tough one out the gate. Then you go down that whole schedule. The MEC is tough, and it's getting tougher. That Chile is going to be. He's done a really good job there. Maryville every year, they're making state runs every year. Just a phenomenal team, phenomenally coached team. But the entire MEC is definitely it's going to be a challenge this year for us for sure.
Well, it should be a great season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Thank you, Dion. Appreciate you.